What's up, everybody? We made it, episode 12. It is the Loper Show, and this week, my guest, my boy Rich Regal. What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
Dude, this has been a long time coming.
A long time.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you for the first time in a minute when I got back from Nashville when Struggle played.
Yep.
Down in the short north.
Yeah, I think Struggle seems to be our binding tie there.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, man, that's a cool little spot, man. Your set was awesome as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's what I try to pride myself in, is giving people an experience, because I know what I want to see when I go see the concert.
Yeah.
No matter what the genre is, I want to be entertained.
Yeah,
so
that's a cool Scully's, man. Like it's such a punk rock place, but like they have like such a wide variety of artists that play there too.
And they always have great sound, good lighting. I mean, we've had nothing but good experiences there. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. So not only a musician, but you're also a tattoo artist.
Absolutely.
And you own your own studio.
Yep. And 21 years now.
What's that called?
Modified Studios Tattoo Gallery in Lancaster,
that's
Ohio.
Cool, man. So how did you get into tattooing?
By accident. I was blue collar. I was laying block, killing myself every day to make a check, and hurt my back real bad. Was helping my mom open a pizza place, and the old lady was like, "Hey, you're pretty good at drawing. Here's a tattoo machine," and went and bought me a tattoo setup. I didn't know what I was doing. About 3 months later, I walked into a shop and was like, "Look, I'm really easy to teach. I know everybody in town. What can you teach me?" 6 months later, I bought the shop, and I've owned it for 21 years.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's wild. You can get like tattoo equipment just anywhere now.
Oh,
like
anywhere.
When we were kids, like where the fuck would you ever buy a tattoo gun?
I got into the business, really one of the big reasons, other than her just kind of coercing me and, not coercing me, but suggesting it. And I was like, oh, I'll try it. But then I had a friend before that died of a nose piercing. She had gotten a nose piercing. She had gotten an infection. It spread, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to go through all that, but I wanted to know what caused that.
Yeah.
Well, in my career now, I can literally hone in on exactly what caused these things.
And what was it?
Basically just an infection. She was being told the wrong aftercare. And then on top of that, she wasn't even listening to that aftercare and doing the wrong stuff.
God, dude.
Just so many small things. And piercings are a lot more subjective to infections and such than a tattoo. But I was like, there's got to be a reason for this. And, that's been my thing for 20-some years. I've been educating.
I used to be a Wilder guy back in the day, and I got my tongue pierced. I was with that band. You remember Crazy Town?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Shifty Shell Shock, rest in peace. He just passed away last year. But, he was there with me that night, and it was my buddy's piercing joint, right? It was like rave clothing and piercings in fucking West Palm Beach, y'all. That
says it all right there.
Yeah, exactly. So I get my tongue pierced, and I call my dude afterwards. I'm like, hey, man. My tongue is like 4 times the size as it's supposed to be, and it was so purple. I looked like Barney. It was so insane. I was like, there's got to be something wrong. He's like, nah, dude, that's normal. It'll be okay. Just call me tomorrow. I mean, it was like 2 weeks, bro, until my tongue was back to like normal size. And I was on the radio then. So, it was tough, man. What a mouthful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, what is the gnarliest piercing, like when somebody comes in?
I mean, I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. And nowadays they're doing so much with like subcutaneous implants and such stuff like that, which
are those like
silicone.
Oh, okay.
They'll put like silicone. Like if I wanted a skull, I could do a silicone skull underneath the skull where it's
I don't even know what you're talking about. Is that right?
I mean, it's no different than any other silicone implant.
I had no idea that was even a thing.
They basically make a small incision, and then they're called elevators. You elevate the skin tissue from the muscle tissue.
Right.
Silicone goes in there, stitch it up, let her heal.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. I was thinking dermals, I think, right? Like
like what I've got in
yeah, exactly. Yes. Show the camera. Yeah. So you start tattooing at a young age. And when did the music come in?
The music came by accident too. I've always been a music lover. I thought for sure I was going to be Axl Rose when I grew up. Axl Rose with the microphone stand of Steven Tyler.
Hell yeah!
Like I had
the bandanas on there,
sweeper
bro.
And everything. That's what I thought I was going to do. Of course, every kid thinks they're going to be a rock star. Mm-hmm. Well, I never thought that I actually would get to that point, but no, I was tattooing. I liked to drink a lot at that time.
Yeah.
So I was going out and finding these gigs around my hometown just to DJ.
Okay, cool.
Because I could drink for free. So I'd get off work at the tattoo shop, go drink for free, get paid $100 or something. And I was like, then I started getting into the MMA fighting, and I was the CFO of Higher Power Promotions, which was a MMA coalition out of Lancaster, Ohio. Rest in peace, Aaron Kroll. He's kind of my mentor. He taught me a lot of stuff as far as promotions, and we started bringing live acts in during the MMA fights, like for intermission. And I was like, I started looking at a lot of these guys. And I'm like, I could do this better. So I started I did one song, and it was a rap remix, a swag rap remix, and which is not me. Yeah. But we did it all about tattoos, just to kind of boost the tattoo studio, and the video went viral.
No shit.
And I was like, so I'm a musician now.
That's cool. So wait, so you say you wanted to be Axl Rose? Like, was your first intention to do like more like hardcore like rock music, or?
No, I didn't even plan on doing rap music. You know, I literally did not plan any of this. I had done some freestyling on a karaoke machine back in the day with one of the homies. You know, that was about it. And I thought I was a gangster. Yeah. But then I started doing rap, and I wasn't talking about gangster stuff because that's not me. But then I kind of fell into this country rap thing. And again, kind of by accident, I wasn't looking for it. But I did a couple shows with Mary Kaufman. Again, rest in peace, Mary Kaufman. That's my other mentor. Both my mentors are now not with us. So I have to be the one that carries this on my shoulders. And that's a big inspiration to me, because those were two great people in my life. I got on, and I bought on to a few shows. I know a lot of musicians out there are totally against buy-ons. Buy-ons aren't a bad thing.
No, that's a thing. I mean, like, even like with punk rock bands, I remember back in the day, you know,
any big rock band, I mean, Texas Hippie Coalition. Mm-hmm. If you go on tour with Texas Hippie Coalition, you have to pay some kind of due to get on those type of tours.
Sure.
You know, they're giving you a platform. It's no different than going to college. You go to college to learn knowledge and to get experience and to get these networking of capabilities. This is the same thing. You pay your dues. Some people pay and work. Some people pay and buying to get on the show. If you do it right, you can usually make money if you're doing it right. You get your tickets. Say it's 20 tickets, you got to buy those tickets ahead of time. But they give you 30 tickets.
Yeah.
That's how I do my shows. Show me you're ready to work. Yeah. And you'll make money.
No doubt.
And then you make a profit off of it. Then after you do that a few times, then I'm like, okay, they're out here. They're really bringing in a crowd. Now I'm paying you.
Yeah.
And that's how the system works. But I bought onto these shows, went out, seen the environment. And I'm like, dude, these dudes are talking about country stuff. Like, I grew up in the country. This is what I know. We ride four-wheelers. We go skinny dipping. Not so much anymore. Nobody wants to see that. If you do, my OnlyFans is up right now. But I was like, I think this is my home here.
So who did it start with? Like somebody like Bubba Sparks, or like who do you remember hearing for the first time going, wait a minute?
Hearing for the first time? UGK.
Oh yeah, sure.
I feel like they are some of the originators. And this is not popular opinion, but Charlie Daniels.
Hell yeah.
Charlie Daniels, sure. Devil Went Down to Georgia was a rap song.
Yeah.
You really break it down.
Boy, man, come on.
So, but as far as modern, it was probably UGK, Bubba Sparks, and the first two shows I bought onto was the Lax, which is Loud Ass Crackers, and then who was the other one? Georgia Boys.
Oh, okay.
And they were two of the originators of what we call country rap today.
Gotcha.
Which is now one of the fastest emerging, growing genres in American history.
I mean, I think we're all like blown away by what Jelly Roll's done. I mean, it's
absolutely.
I mean, I always knew his talent was undeniable, but the way I've seen so many bands make it, and you know, God bless them, and they've had careers. Some go straight up, stay there. Some, you know, hit the top, and then it's sometimes the way down is it's a tough fall. But it's amazing how he has just managed to not only elevate himself at each and every step, but I mean he's leading like the music world. It's crazy.
Oh, absolutely. And coming from where he come from, I very much relate to Jelly. We got really close in the beginning years of his career. Done a lot of shows with him. He is who he says he is.
For sure.
Like there's no same thing with Struggle. You get what you get. This is who these people really are. It's not for the camera. It's not something that they want to be. This is who they are. And both of them two guys alone have helped so many artists, including myself, open doors.
Yeah.
Jelly literally went in and started torching doors on fire, kicking them open. He was like, look, but he did it in such a respectful way that nobody could say, oh, well, you're being an ass.
Right.
You know, they're like, this guy's doing it, and he's backing it up with great music and integrity and honor and everything that you need to be successful, he was doing. And I think a lot of people wanted him to fail, you know, just like anybody else that makes it. A lot of people look at him and they're like, there's no way that this dude that's out of shape,
right,
that doesn't look the part, and he's rapping, you know, back then he was from the streets. So he was rapping about what he knew in the streets, and people were like, and people like us that seen that back in the day were like, there's something else here.
Yeah, for sure.
You're a star, dude.
Oh, man.
Like,
Antioch's finest, man.
Absolutely.
You know, from Club Lavo to Broadway. I mean, you know, he's made it, man. Like,
absolutely.
You know, it's real. And the new honky tonk looks incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait to get down there and check it out.
Yeah, I was actually talking to a friend of ours, Mickey, last night, and she's on her way down to go check it out. And, you know, so it's like right next to Kid Rock's place, which is perfect.
Oh, is it? I didn't know exactly where it was at.
Yeah, so it's at the end of Broadway, right across from AJ's and where the Hard Rock is.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, I mean, Kid Rock's place was always my favorite on Broadway, but man, I don't know. I've seen some video from inside of Goodnight Nashville. I mean,
it looks nice.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's an experience in itself.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I see tattoos, and of course I'm like, I want to come tattoo there.
Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, I was going to ask you. So, like, do you know anything about that? Like, is he going to have artists? Because that would be dope if
I don't know.
Had people come in like tattoo conventions where somebody's featured for like a weekend or a week or something like that.
That would be hot. I've reached out to a few people that we are mutual friends of all of ours.
Yeah.
That would have that information, and obviously they stay very busy just like us. So I'm just waiting to get word back to see what the thing is with that. Is it just like tattoo culture, or are they actually going to have like a floor where they're doing tattoos? Or
from what I understand, they're doing full-on tattoos.
That's what I understand too. And I mean, what better than having Mr. WTMF himself?
That's right.
You know? Shout out Jelly Roll. Can we come down and do some tattoos?
Hell yeah. So how often are you at the tattoo shop?
Usually I'm there Tuesday through Thursday for sure.
Okay.
Unless I have a festival or something that's out of state, or if we're actually on tour.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff I do with music, I try to do Weekend Warrior stuff because I do have the tattoo studio, and that all became kind of a tradition to do it that way because I was raising my children through all this. And, you know, there was actually a point in time where Jelly asked me to go be his DJ before Highlight was the DJ and everything.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, Bubba, you want to come on the road with me? And I was like, dude, I got a family. I'm not at that level. I'm not really a DJ. I just play music. So, and I get people all the time when they hear that and they're like, do you regret it? And I was like, absolutely not. You know what happened? I watched both my kids graduate high school.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
And, you know, I went to every daddy-daughter dance. You know, there was daddy-daughter dances where I went for an hour and left and had to run and be on stage in Columbus or something, but I was there.
Yeah.
So I don't regret any of that. You know, we broke a generational curse in both of our families, kind of. So that's definitely well worth it. And now's my time.
I'd love to hear that, man.
Day my daughter turned 18, my old lady looked at me and she goes, it's your time. You did your job.
And I don't want to rat you out here live on the Loper show or anything, but I heard you're a papaw now. So
we just found out.
Little girl or little boy? Do we know?
We know, but the public doesn't know yet.
Oh, okay, all right. Respect that.
We did the reveal. My daughter is very reserved.
Okay.
She likes living her life. She hates the Rich Regal life. But she very much supports me in what I do. Yeah. She's very private. Her old man is very private. Mm-hmm. He's a good kid. I say kid because I'm old. Yeah. But he's a good kid. He came out of high school with a great job. He's got a good work ethic. They bought their first house. They just bought their first car with an insane interest rate that I've never gotten to see. Yeah. So I was like, they're killing it. That's awesome. So. It's
great
definitely
to see your
been
kids do well, right?
That's the best because I literally feel like, you know, if nothing else in this world ever happens to me, I did what I was here to do.
Yeah, because it's weird.
Like that was my calling.
I always feel like I can take the pain of like whatever it is, failure or struggling, going through a hard time, but you never want to see your kids have to go through that.
I don't even like seeing my kids be a little upset. It drives me crazy. I will be like, I'm a fixer. I'm an Aries. Yeah. So okay. I want to fix everything. And that's actually, I do Regal Wisdom every day, which is just a video. And I try to give inspiration or advice that I've learned. And one of the things just the other day was that women don't want us to fix their problems.
I saw that. I thought that was brilliant. Yeah.
And that's something
so
I've
true.
had to teach myself because
yeah.
I'm a fixer. My lady will be like, I'll be like, well, leave earlier. No, don't say that.
Right.
Because that's not what they're looking for. They want you to be like, yeah, babe, screw them people.
That's right. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I catch myself doing shit like that too. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I saw that I don't know if you've done the show yet or not. What was the Redneck Riviera show down in Chillicothe?
Redneck Rave. It's a Redneck Rave.
Redneck Rave, okay.
Redneck Rave itself, this is a bar takeover. So this is a spinoff of the actual Redneck Rave. Okay. Shout out to am I allowed to cuss on it?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to Who the Fuck is Justin Time.
Okay.
We call him Who the Fork is Justin Spoons if you can't say that.
That's hilarious.
He's the founder, creator. He's one of the biggest influential people in country rap. And he started this Redneck Rave out in the field through a party.
Okay.
And
what's happening out there? There's a DJ?
Came. Well, now it's become a big off-road thing. We find selective off-road parks that are already kind of doing something, and we build the park up with the park, and then we bring in live performances. It used to be just Saturday night. Well, now that I've taken over coordination on Redneck Rave, kind of putting everything together, I was like, Justin, why don't we open up Friday night and do some cheaper buy-ons for some more up-and-coming artists? So we did that for the first time in Ohio on this last one, and it was the first time we brought it to Ohio. Now we're going to be in West Virginia for the big Redneck Rave this year, and we gave away 40 free slots.
Whoa. So where's that happening? Huntington, or where's this
at? Just outside of Beckley.
Okay.
It's called Burning Rock Off-Road Park. It's an amazing park. They've got all the amenities we need. It's really close to Beckley.
What made you choose there?
10,000 acres of trails that are manicured. They've got the facilities we need.
So do people bring like swamp buggies out there? Like
everything.
They bring out the off-road?
I've got a buddy that's got a Chevy Equinox with the top cut off of it. He takes it to every rave, and it goes from stuff like that all the way up to mega trucks.
Yeah.
Like big monster trucks that, swim. They literally swim through the water, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, in Florida, when I was growing up, we used to everybody would go to this one mud hole, right? And people have dirt bikes, obviously 4x4 trucks, but swamp buggies. And I swear to God, we'd sit out there, watch girls mud wrestle and then get each other unstuck all night long. That was that was the fun of the entire night.
That's pretty much it. And there may be some alcoholic beverages involved, but we don't endorse that because we do want people to be safe, and these are all ages events. We keep them all ages because, for one, we keep a tab on things. Justin has done an amazing job putting together this event and making it such a staple to where now he does the bar takeovers. Because we can't do Redneck Raves all over the place, and a lot of people can't come out and...
So the bar takeovers are like a smaller version of what happens at the big Redneck
We
Raves.
literally come in and Justin's like, I'm taking over the bar.
That's cool, man.
We're gonna, and we don't have to worry about the riding while intoxicated or anything like that. Because, most of the shows that I throw, I bring out a party bus to where if we need rides, we can get people rides as long as they're close. It creates another green room because a lot of these bars are literal bars.
Right, yeah.
They don't have a green room. They don't have none of that. So we create that.
Yeah.
And it's a way of bringing our culture and what we're doing to these smaller towns.
Yeah. So I was born down in Portsmouth, Ohio.
Okay.
You guys ever play down there?
No, but I mean Waverly. We actually got another festival, the Stargazer Festival, coming up in Waverly. It's a cannabis festival.
Oh, cannabis festival.
Nice. Lots of cannabis.
That's funny in Waverly. Boy, how the times have changed.
We did a show in Waverly last year, which was a festival. With Afro Man.
Oh, is that right?
Which is cool.
Because they got high.
Yeah, because we all got high.
And so how's Afro Man's show these days?
He's an entertainer, man.
Yeah.
He really is. He stands up there. He DJs his own thing with a drum machine, sets the track, plays guitar, walks.
He's like a one-man show, huh?
No vocals on his tracks. He is an entertainer. Wow. Like he's definitely... I was surprised.
It's not like what you think, huh?
No, I was like, a lot of people think, it's just going to be a gimmick.
Yeah.
This man is a very classically trained jazz musician too. He can play every instrument under the sun. He's actually very intelligent.
Wow.
And one hell of an entertainer.
That's cool.
So I was surprised.
So who's playing with you at this Redneck Rave? Who else is going to be there?
Well, who the fork is Justin Spoons. We've got Jesse Howard and New Breed, Outlaw Nation. Everybody knows the big song "Welcome to My House."
Yeah.
That's the big one. Big shout out to Jesse. He's an Ohio boy, so got to show some extra love there.
Hell yeah.
And New Breed's an amazing artist too. Adam Calhoun's going to be on this one.
Oh, is that right?
Yes,
Oh,
it's
man,
first time
that
he's going to be with Jesse and them all on one event.
Oh, that's cool.
We've all done events separate, and this is the first time pulling that together. There's some other surprise guests for Saturday night that haven't been announced yet, but they are big bangers.
So it's performers.
Are
there also just like DJs too that go between the sets? Or
DJ CFO, he's out of North Carolina. That's Justin's personal DJ. He'll be DJing pretty much all weekend, probably switching out with my DJ Moneyface Boogie from right here in Columbus, Ohio.
Nice.
West Side.
Best side.
So it's a lot. Yeah. Now what it's turned into is instead of just Saturday night, because now he doesn't have to worry about stage managing stuff. He's got me to help take care of that. So we do Thursday night, we do a sound check, which ends up being celebrity karaoke, and we sing like Cher and stuff like that. It's fun,
That is cool,
something to get the crowd.
I love your vibe, man. You're always like, every time I see you, you always make me smile. I'm always having fun, and I always get the idea that you know what you're doing and your energy is fun.
Well, it's the only way
positive.
to be. It goes back to, like I said before, I want to create an experience that I would want to have.
Yeah.
Just like every time I run into you, it's all smiles. It's always good. There's never a negative connotation, and that's, in this world, we need more people like that can be positive about the negative things in this world, because there's a shit ton of that.
When I first met you, you brought me the craziest thing anyone's ever brought me in my entire life. You brought me a colostomy bag and you autographed it.
Yeah,
I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
White trash motherfucker.
I loved it, man. I was like, this guy. And like ever since then, man, it's like, certain things hook you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I met Jelly for the first time in Struggle, it's like we became like instant friends. You know what I mean? And it's like, I felt the same energy with you. And the colostomy bag, I got to say. It was really creative.
I remember that very specifically because I had just was on my feet from surgery.
Yeah.
And for anybody who didn't know, I had a colonectomy. I had to have part of my colon taken out. I collapsed on stage, died on stage, flatlined.
That's a wild story.
Finished the show, went home, had surgery, and it was probably about a month and a half after surgery. That's when you saw me live for the first time. I had a struggle show at King of Clubs, and I remember the whole story. It was 14 minute. You did a 14-minute segment on the air about it. And I was like, dude, this is the coolest thing. Like, I'm just being me. And this guy really caught the gist of me. Yeah. Like this is really cool. So, in turn, I wanted to, give you something that definitely was going to stick out. Because how many people can do that? How many people can give a colostomy bag? And I still do that.
I love it, dude. Yeah.
People still get the colostomy bags every now and then.
So I still have it.
They're not used ones.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Let's just say yes. They were brand new and fresh and autographed. So what's the next big show locally for you?
Locally, we got the Redneck Rave Bar Takeover in Chillicothe, Ohio. It'll be the first time ever we brought it down there. Right now, we're getting to the very end of the last little bit of tickets. I do have a few tickets reserved for the door because we always have a great walk up at these shows.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure some of the people that couldn't get online, maybe doesn't have a debit card or something, couldn't get the tickets, because those are the people we want to come more than anything, because those are the people that don't get to make it to the city to come to these shows.
Sure.
So we're gonna have very few at the door, but we stack it out. It's a hell of a show.
What's the date for that?
That's February 22nd. That's this Saturday.
That's coming up, man.
So actually the day before, I have Valid Gigi Clothing and Larry Del Reed and Fedora Mike. They're a couple artists that work with us in the country rap world. They have their own clothing line, so they're going to be setting up at my tattoo studio the day before, pretty much all day.
Nice.
We're going to be doing tattoos, deals on some flash tattoos. We got Crino's Pizza sponsoring, so they're putting up food for us. We'll have Valid Gigi Clothing there, all kinds of stuff.
That's cool.
You never know. I might be able to get one of these guys to perform a song or two in the tattoo shop.
Hey, so it's literally this Saturday.
Yep.
And so what's the bar called?
Mikey's Sports Bar.
Okay,
it's the old locker room out on the east end of Chillicothe.
Gotcha. So Chillicothe was always so special to me when I was a kid. I would come up from Florida to spend the summers with my grandparents, and my favorite fucking thing in the world is Tecumseh.
Oh, I love it. We just went again this year.
You did? Yeah.
Yep.
So what was it? I guess 2 years ago, I got the absolute dream of my life. They asked me to come be in a performance.
I seen that. I was like, dude, that is like the coolest thing ever.
Bro, do you want to meet Frontiersman number 2? That's me.
Hell yeah.
Frontiersman number 2. Yeah.
Hey.
I was standing on stage and, looking out into the crowd and this stage that I've seen a million times. I went to Chillicothe to go see Tecumseh and I'm just like, I couldn't believe I was there and I was trying not to get frozen in the moment. That was my biggest fear. Was like, to get out there because I had some speaking lines. Because in the beginning, they were like, okay, so, there's no lines for this character. And then as we started to rehearse throughout the week, they were like, all right, so we're going to have you say this. And I was like, whoa, now we're saying a lot of stuff right now. I was like, I don't act on a regular basis, right? But man, it was so fun. And the cast was so welcoming and made me feel instantly comfortable. And it was easily one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life, man.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and just being there was just, fantastic. But you said you went this summer.
Yeah, we'd been talking about it for a while, and I was like, with the world the way it is today, this may not be around much longer.
Yeah.
And I did notice that the script from when I was a child to now is not the same.
Yeah, they changed it up a little bit.
There's some very influential key people that were in the original script that are not there,
Yeah, who'd you notice? Like
General Sherman.
Yeah.
His middle name was Tecumseh, and you took him completely out of that, like it or hate it, that's part of history. And I don't like what they're doing with taking history away, because we can't understand the future or the present unless we know the past. So that's what we were taught growing up. And now they're like, oh, yeah, well, that didn't really matter, so we're just going to get rid of it.
There does seem to be a bit of a cultural shift, though, in the other direction since the election. It feels like a little bit.
It definitely does. Things are definitely rapidly changing about every 4 years right now. So we'll see where we go.
It's interesting because like when we were younger, like you would say the Republicans, right? If they were in power, like you think of like Ronald Reagan and George Bush the first, senior, you think of those guys and you think of like censorship and people like, overly religious and, trying to basically like kind of bear down on the arts. And, and it just feels like now, like everything's flipped upside down and it's completely the opposite way.
Absolutely. And it's a crazy world we live in and so many aspects, and that's why, like I said, things like Tecumseh they're going to be a thing of the past, so we wanted to go out there and do it one last time.
We got to make Tecumseh great again, guys.
Make Tecumseh great again. Yeah.
I just always hope for the ending that he comes back alive when they hit him 3 times.
Right.
And he's like, if you hit me 3 times, with the rifle thing, he's like, I'll come back and I'll fight till the end. And I'm like, every time I'm like, come on, bro. I'm always rooting for him.
You got this, dog.
I'm always rooting for him. So as far as new music goes, is anything coming down the pike soon?
Yeah, my goal is to drop 16 singles this year.
16.
I'm on the second one now for this year. We just dropped the video and single for Back Into My Arms, and it's the concept of this song was totally different than anything. It's a different sound.
Yes, it is.
It's
sure.
very country popish. And it was literally me coming to a point in my life where I was like, we always blame our spouses or blame the other person in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or whatever. And in this particular case, it was my wife. I was always like, oh, well, if she would just do this. No, maybe I'm doing some stuff wrong. Maybe I need to work a little harder. Maybe I need to buy flowers every week, which she still gets after 16, 17 years. We've been together 26 years.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
But about 16, 17 years of flowers every week, because I feel like she deserves that. She puts up with me. I'm a lot. And I mean, I am a fucking lot, dude. I mean, hey, I'm Mr. White Trash motherfucker,
That's right, yeah.
So, being as that she stood by me for all this, and for so many years,
she shares a room with you.
Yeah, you're right. That's a big accomplishment. Like most people couldn't do that, I assure you. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I realized, hey man, it's not always her fault. It's not always the other person's fault, and I got to look at myself. And if I don't, she gonna be gone.
Yeah.
And
no, that's.
I guess you'll find out if you watch the video.
Yeah. So the video. Let's talk about the song for a second too. Like the video's tremendous, but just the roots of the song. I mean, how that was quite a departure. I mean, like, it was kind of brave of you to go down that road. I'm not really sure what other word I'm looking for, but it seemed like, the singing was not. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
and this is the culmination of what happens when you give an artist the assets to be able to build a home studio.
Yeah.
Once I build a home studio, I experiment more.
That's awesome.
I do more of what I want to do, not so much of what people are expecting me to do. People expect me to do really crunk rap
right
all the time. And I'm like, I love that. That's my pocket. I can kill that. But I want to make classic songs that people are still going to listen to in 20, 30 years and be like, hey, I feel that, Most of my rap stuff is just that. It's crunk party. I try to keep it positive, but sometimes, it's hip hop. Sometimes it gets a little negative,
I know that my favorite stuff, that anytime that I get outside of my comfort zone, that's when I create, whatever it is, whether it's radio or anything that I'm into, getting out of your comfort zone, kind of getting out of your own way, and then just letting it be.
Absolutely. Well, I always tell people too, if you're comfortable, you got to get out of there.
Yeah.
Because if you're comfortable, you're not progressing.
So true.
So you got to be uncomfortable sometimes. If you're not, look at Save Me. Jelly Roll dropped that in the middle of a pandemic with no promotion, no backing, no nothing. He just dropped it. Cold drop. And anybody that knows anything about cold drops, they usually don't work.
Yeah, it usually flops. Yeah.
And because he jumped out there on this ledge and was like, I believe in this song. I believe what I'm saying in this song. I'm just going to drop it and see what happens. That's how you create things like that.
Is that how you feel about your latest single?
Yeah, definitely. I was like, I got to do it.
Yeah.
I dropped Looking for Love a year ago, which was the first time I'd ever really sang on a track. And it's a very doo-woppy style that I did, which Ty Wills from Stay Beat Studios shot the video to that, and that video was amazing.
When you say doo-woppy, like, give me another example. Like Lauryn Hill?
Further back, I would say like it's got like a 60s doo-wop to it. Like
that kind of, okay, all right. Yeah, now I know what you're talking about.
Very much like a doo-woppy, but still melodic.
What made you go down that road? Was that just something that was
again
on the top of your head, or you heard something that day or something?
Well, it was funny because it was kind of I didn't realize what I was doing, but if you listen to the song, the melody at the very beginning of the keys is very, very similar to Save Me. I didn't catch that. I just heard that melody, bought the beat from my producer, and I was like, I want to try to do something different. And I started singing this song, and I worked with a singer-songwriter named Terry Douglas from the Terry Douglas Band. He's a country music singer right here in Ohio, and I respect him immensely on his songwriting. So I was like, I want to work with somebody else, but I don't want you to write it. Yeah. I want to write it, and you just tell me if I'm doing it right. And I basically wrote it, and he was like, yeah, there was a couple key parts. He was like, maybe just, put a little bit of a vibrato here. Other than that, you got it. Yeah. And I did it, and I was like, I can't put this out. Like, I'm singing. Yeah. I can't put this shit out. I'm a rapper, dude. Like,
is there a little bit of worry? Like, you're like, man, I got to stay in my zone.
I was scared to death. I was like, these people are going to hang me out to dry. They're going to destroy me. Like, and then I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm at the age that I'm at now.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
That's awesome.
If the mass majority likes it.
Yeah, fuck them.
Now I'm making stuff that I love, that I feel, and that I feel that my fan base that I've built over the years, I feel like they definitely resonate with a lot of this stuff. And Looking for Love came out, and it's my highest viewed video on YouTube.
That's awesome, man. I love that.
I was like, well,
those stories are the best stories.
Play some other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play with it.
Like, what else is in your heart? That's what you start to think, right?
Right.
Like, that's, I love that. So the Chillicothe show is this Saturday. And like you said, people can still get tickets. So if you're trying to get some tickets to go see Rich Regal. So my audience is spread out over, of course, Ohio. I would say the vast majority of people that watch and listen to this are in Ohio. IO. And Nashville, of course.
Absolutely.
I had a tremendous support from my time down there on the radio, and I just had so many people that listen to me there support me in this venture, which, this is like, for me, it's so cool because it's my chance to step outside of corporate radio for the first time in 30 years and actually do my own thing.
Right.
You know, and that's like it's just been so liberating. But the other large portion of the people that listen and watch are in South Florida. So that being said, like, do you ever make it down to Nashville or in South Florida area?
Nashville, we make it to quite often. I mean, being in country rap,
Sure.
I mean, plus, it's Nashville. Everybody loves Nashville.
Dude, Nashville's the best.
And I like the off the beaten path mom and pops restaurants and stuff more than I do Broadway.
Yeah. What about Printer's Alley?
I haven't spent a lot of time there, but
you got to go to the New Orleans theme bar there.
Every
the
time we
jam.
go down, we're in a rush.
Sure.
There's very few times that we've been down there that we got to take time. And me and the wife went down a couple years ago just to take time, and we went to the old plantation. Can't think of whose plantation it was. We did that tour. That was amazing to see this beautiful plantation. We got to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
That every time I'm down there, it's like it's Broadway.
Well, yeah, but also people don't realize, you don't have to party and drink when you go to Nashville. You know what I mean? There's so many things to do, like with kids and like family, or just be normal. You know what I mean? You don't have to get drunk.
Yep.
You know, there's so many things to do. But where'd you guys play when you went down there?
We've played quite a few times. Well, we were supposed to play Tootsies. We were set up to play Tootsies, and I was like, dude, there's no way they're going to let me in there. Like, do they know what I do? Well, it ended up, there was a big mix up, and I don't even know what happened there. But we've played Exit In.
Yeah.
We played that down there. Can't think of any of the names.
Yeah.
I literally, at this point, I'm organizing and doing roughly 100 shows a year.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
Between the ones that I organize and everything. So trying to keep all these venues and stuff together.
I hear you.
You know, and then like I said, with the Redneck Rave, we just did that. We're calling it the Fresh 40.
Okay.
It's the 40 artists.
All right.
But I had 272 submissions that I actually could go through. And I went through 272 artists over the course of this. So trying to remember all of that, and I know you understand.
Oh, totally. So what about Florida? Do you ever make it down?
I've never performed in Florida.
Oh, we got to get you down to like Port St. Lucie or like Fort Pierce area. See, I'm from West Palm, so those areas just north of there, I'm telling you, they would love some Rich Regal.
Oh, and I've had so many people from down that way. I've got family that lives in like Miami or, in that area, and then up close to Orlando.
Okay.
So, and I've always got people that are hitting me up like, when are you coming to Florida? And I'm like, every time it's ever been booked, quote unquote, the promoter fucks it up.
Oh, man.
Like,
Isn't that the worst?
And that's why I became more of an agent / booker buyer, because there are so many promoters and buyers out here that they think, oh, I'll just throw some money at this and get a good artist and it'll happen. Mm-hmm. Well, then they don't take care of that artist, or they don't take care of, I still do paper posters. We put posters up in every business in the towns that we're doing shows in.
Yeah.
As long as we can get to them. This is, paper flyers, physical paper tickets where we go out and we still hustle this stuff. People have forgotten about that part of
I love that
music.
aspect of it, because it is lost in a lot of areas. So Nashville, it's still quite alive down there. Like Yellow Wolf, when he dropped his latest record, I mean, Wolf had posters everywhere, like old school. It looks so punk rock, and just like it just made the album so much even cooler than it already was. You know what I mean?
And that's the whole effect. You keep seeing these cool posters and stuff, and his artwork and stuff that he uses is I love it. I love the vintage.
Yeah,
like everything's very vintage, motorcycle related, and that's kind of me too. So I really respect the way he does things, and then he had a tattoo studio / barber shop down there for a while that I got the pleasure of going down and, meeting his mom down there and hanging out. And
he is, like, once you break through the surface, like, he is one of the nicest guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, just so down to earth, and just not what you think when you first meet him. You know what I mean? Because he is one of the coolest people. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, wow, dude, this guy's so cool. Don't be a dick. And then, like, the absolute opposite, like the most gracious, nicest. Actually, my first event that I did down there, him and Tulane came out and like supported me.
Oh,
at
I love
the event.
Tulane.
Yeah, that's my dude, man.
Yeah, that dude, and he's so talented. Yeah. People they just seen him playing the fiddle up there, and then he started releasing that music, and I was like, whoa,
undeniable,
like,
sick, dude.
Holy
That's a great
shit.
song.
Yeah,
just the beat, everything about that. Shout out to Tulane, man. If you guys don't know who that is, go check him out. I'll do a little link in the description. I got to get him on too.
Tulane, He's a character too. He's definitely a character.
That's for sure. Yeah. Him and I, we were in Struggles video for It's All Good Till It Ain't.
Yeah.
And so I was the cop and he was the bartender that Strug gets in a fight with.
Yep. And that sounds about right. I can see Tulane getting in a fight with just about everybody. Not because he's a dickhead or anything.
No.
He's just, he don't give a shit.
No.
This is Tulane.
Really smart guy too, man. Yeah. So, dude, I wish you a lot of luck, man. I think I'm going to try to make it to the show.
Hell
down
yeah.
in Chillicothe, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
maybe
be a good one.
A little spot for me at the Redneck Rave.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, dude, I'm glad that you got to do this. And if people want to get in touch with you or the tattoo shop, like, is it just best to go to your Instagram?
Really, everything is just Rich Regal 740 all the way across the board, other than the tattoo studio, which is Modified Studios Tattoo Gallery. But yeah, Rich Regal 740, you're going to be able to get a hold of me one way or another through Rich Regal 740 anywhere, including the website. White trash motherfucker.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rich Regal, thanks so much for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, brother.
It's my pleasure, man. Absolutely my pleasure. And you guys, thanks so much for watching and supporting everything that I've done. On the next episode, I'm telling you, we're going big on 13, so make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and click that bell because that'll give you a notification each and every time I drop new content. So we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.